Peggy 18.
The storyline was really driven by, there's a section inside of Uncharted 2 that when you crash in the Himalayas, the train wrecks and Drake, who's bleeding out, gets pulled out of a blizzard essentially from this Himalayan badass called Tenzin. And Tenzin doesn't speak English, Drake doesn't speak Tibetan, so they end up forming a bond through action. And they go into this sort of cave of mysteries, so to speak, and they work together and they have to coordinate together, but it's all through gameplay. And you form this bond with this guy over the course of, 30, 40 minutes of gameplay. And the Himalayan village you start in, you come back out of the cave and you see that it's been attacked by Lazarevich. If you feel this connection that we tried to build, then that Himalayan village is sort of like a metaphor, a symbolism for Tenzin and the relationship you have, and now you want to you feel kind of responsible in that you want to cleanse that pure village of that bad guy and his. So what we were trying to do is build this relationship through actions and through gameplay and not using English or exposition or any dialogue. And we thought, what if we took the entire length of a game and dedicated that to building a relationship where you take two people, Joel and Ellie, who are really opposites. Like they're black and white, as far as Joel, who's born before the pandemic broke out, and he's seen a lot of loss, and he's kind of like emotionally shut down. That's kind of like his armor. And then Ellie, who's born afterwards and lived in a quarantine zone, she has a very different perspective, like kind of seeing this sort of torture, torment, and death that happens on a kind of a daily basis inside of the lockdown area of the quarantine zone. They're operating under martial law, so if you're just caught stealing ration cards or breaking in line, it's like they'll kill you on the spot, and this is like Wednesday for her. But that's kind of normal. It's not like a big deal. What would be horrific for us is like, oh, okay, that's how life is. And you take these two people, put them together on this long journey. It's the longest campaign, Naughty Dog's created so far, and we've taken all that time to really build and nurture that relationship. Two people who are kind of at odds at the beginning, and little by little, through the pressures of trying to survive through moment to moment and encountering the different factions, the different aspects of humanity who are also trying to survive. I mean, they'll basically kill you for your shoes or for you have a little bit of water, and your life doesn't matter and you'll be a drain on the resources, so get rid of them. And those are the types of encounters that you have to deal with. So when that pressure is applied, you see how these two end up working and relying on each other. And ultimately, by the end of the journey, there's a true bond that's been built up, and that's really what surviving in this game is really touching on, is like a bond of trust. You have to know that I've got the person's back who's with me, and they've got mine, and I can trust that we're in this together. And so there's this whole arc in how they relate to each other, as well as how they operate in combat and moving through the space and each encounter. And that's really what our intention is to do, is by the end of it, for you to feel the same way that Joel and Ellie feel, that when you've survived those encounters and you realize the pressures that are on you, that when they're making these tough decisions, you're right there with them and you understand what they've gone through, and I'm emotionally attached, and that's where we want to be at the end of this journey, so that when tough decisions have to make, you're like, I feel it. I am Joel, I am Ellie, and we are one. That's our goal. The game really, it's interesting that there's kind of this through line that has come out in making it and trying to, as it's evolved, like when you deal with Joel and Ellie and you see that there's this contrast, like, the darkness and the light, like in the characters, they're sort of archetypes. And then, it's the same sort of contrast that shows up in the environments. And then you have this abandonment, this sort of bleak darkness that's kind of this patina that's over the world, which it's the familiar and the unfamiliar. I know that coffee shop, I know that record store. It's kind of sad that there's nobody around to listen to the music anymore. And there's this thoroughfare, the Main Street USA, and people should be having a dinner with their family on Saturday night, and yet it's abandoned, nobody's around. There's a tree growing out of the middle of the street because there's nobody there to tend to it anymore. And there's a loss there, but at the exact same time, it's absolutely stunning because nature, as it reclaims the earth, is like, you know, water spills in and beautiful reflections show up and caustics show up on, you know, start refracting onto building sides, and light filters through trees, and then it invigorates sort of this sense of adventure, because now I get to go to those places that are normally taboo, you know, where there's usually that person working the counter, and I can't go back behind the counter and find out, like, you know, the secrets that go on in the back rooms of places. Now I'm invited to go to those spaces and kind of find out, like, oh, and there's supplies there. I can use those supplies maybe to get me through the, you know, the next encounter. Maybe I can make a smoke bomb. You know, maybe I can craft a melee implement that's going to help me survive just one more day. So there's an interesting contrast that happens throughout the game, and it's kind of the loss, but at the same time the beauty, and that kind of juxtaposition is kind of what this game, I mean, really plays with and dances around the whole time.
After all we've been through, everything that I've done, it can't be for nothing.